Welcome back. You're still tuned into Trading Hour, where DSC, the Defence Council, has approved 5 acquisition proposals worth 21,772 crores. To understand what the opportunity is and what it would mean for the listed space, we are now joined by Amit Dixit, analyst at ICICI Securities. Amit, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, as per the release, it's still an AON, right? The acceptance of necessity. Can you give us a sense of, after this AON, how long does it take for these orders to get converted into final orders? Then how long does it take for execution? Which are the companies which would be impacted by this?
Yeah, hi. Good morning, and thanks for having me on the show. So, from AON to ordering, you can expect at least 2 years. There has been cases where after AON things are pending, but generally, I mean, by thumb rule, by DAP 20 policy, it should be around 2 years. So that is the time frame we are looking at, and looking at the companies that are going to be benefited very clearly. Almost half of this proposal is directed towards the naval support fleet, I would say, the smaller vessels. So the smaller vessels are manufactured by GRSC, by Hindustan Shipyard, L&T, Goa Shipyard. So these are the shipyards that could get benefited. Some of them are listed, some of them are unlisted, of course. Now, the overall benefit for shipyards, in my view, could be a little bit lower because it is going to be a competitive bid. Now, the another proposal that is there for the EW system, including jammer pods and radar system for Sukhoi. I think BEL and Astra Microwave among in the listed space would be benefited. Of course, HAL directly gets the benefit of the overhaul of Sukhoi 30, and then there are various other overhauls of T-72, T-90 tanks, including BMPs, for which ordnance factory boards would be benefited. However, having said that, in all these cases, if you look at the overhauls, if you look at the other work, I think BEL is involved at all the places, and therefore BEL is likely to get the trickle down benefit of all of these. Astra Microwave, particularly, I think from jammer pods of Sukhoi, it should get the benefit, and so as other radar players. From the engine part, what we see that some of the companies who have actually built in their own infrastructure for producing metal stroke components like PTC Industries might get benefited from this engine overall in a long run. Now, execution, once the order is given, typically takes 18 months, 12 to 18 months for mobilization. So we could see the first rupee of revenue from this actually 3.5 years from now.
Amit, is it possible to break up the proposals which are worth about 21,700 crore rupees? You said, so BEL will be able to participate in what, 15,000 worth of orders of this amount, 20,000 worth, and if you could give that for all the companies. So for instance, Garden Reach, they may not win it, but at least in terms of the opportunity, is it possible to break up the individual companies?
No, so actually the press release of Defence Council doesn't break it up. However, as per our estimates, as per the past precedent, we believe that the opportunities in the vessels, that is the shipping, the AONs, 2 of them, could be to the tune of 9,000 to 10,000 odd crores. And this is the opportunity for all the shipbuilders. It may be L1, L2, because considering the number of boats that are there, 31 and 120. So this definitely would be split. However, yeah, this is the opportunity size available. Now, within that, typically we have seen that the electrical equipment, radar, etc., in these smaller vessels could be to the tune of 20 to 25%. So that benefit would come to BEL, even from that 9 to 10,000 crores kitty. Now, talking about the radar and EW part, so I think the total quantum of that could be to the tune of roughly 3,000 to 4,000 odd crores, and it directly goes to BEL. From there, it can go to Astra Microwave, can get some part of it, Data Patterns can get some part of it, some other companies can get part of it. Similarly, for the overhaul packages, the overall quantum could be to the tune of around 3,000 odd crores, 2,500 to 3,000 odd crores. And largely, Ordnance Factory Board will benefit. But again, out of that, 25% almost would be electrical system, fire control system. For that, BL could be the one that would be benefited. And then from the six numbers ALH, of course, that is to the tune of around 1,400 to 1,600 crores. That directly goes to HAL. And again, within that, the electronic component, to the extent it is indigenized, those benefits come to BL directly. So as I said, BL seems to be the largest beneficiary in this kitty.
Got it. So, Amit, these are some of the beneficiaries that you spoke about, and of course, it'll take some time for it to get converted into final orders as well. But till then, how do you look at the defense stocks right now when it comes to valuations? They have corrected from the top. Do you think this could be a trigger, because this order is smaller than what we have seen earlier, right? But it has come in after a long time, 3 months almost. So what is the valuation picture looking like in the defense space?
Yeah, so one thing is very clear, that this AON is one of the smaller ones that we have seen in the recent time. The last AON that came in September was quite humongous, 1.4 trillion to be honest. This one is like almost 217 billion. So it pales in comparison to that one. Having said that, there are AONs last year. If you look at FY23, FY24, we have got around 2.6 trillion to 3.6 trillion respectively of AONs last year. And these would be coming for ordering, as we go ahead. So execution should pick up. Now, having said that, we are in fact positive on the names that have more of exports in their kitty, because one of the government's directive is to promote exports, and there are companies like Solar Industries, for instance, who have got a very good export order book in their overall portfolio, and that is also of shorter duration. So the revenue recognition could be a lot faster in some of these companies. Now, having said that, among DPSUs, BEL remains our top pick, mainly because of the fact that a lot of the execution parts are kind of ironed out because of its presence across the platforms.
Okay, all right. Amit, thank you so much for joining in today with those details and the analysis of what it could mean for the entire defense space, and individually which companies could benefit from this AON. Let's slip into a break. When we come back, we'll discuss market technicals with Vishal Malkan and also discuss the top trading bets.